Welcome back, brothers and sisters of Christ. My name is Brianna and I'm back with another video. And for today's video is children are a gift from God. Children are a blessing. Children is a gift. Children is a reward and a heritage from God. And don't let society tell you otherwise, baby. So for some reason, I noticed that everything that God honors, society talks down upon. And children has become the #1 target. They tell you that you shouldn't have kids. Yeah, they tell people that you shouldn't have kids and they don't want to have kids, and kids is hold you back, and kids is this and kids that, and they just talk about children like children is a bad thing. Now, I understand that we should be married before having children, but that does not change the fact that children are still a blessing from God at the end of the day. The children doesn't play a part in us not being married. You know what I'm saying? They're their own individual person. That's not on them. So the children is still a blessing. And I understand that every woman also does not desire to have children, and that is absolutely fine. But so many times I've seen other women bashing and shaming women for having children and acting as if it's a reward to not have children, when the Bible states that children is a reward from God. There's a strange trend and obsession of people downing and knocking women who have children or who desire to have children, as if that makes them a better woman because they don't want children or because they don't have children. Now, don't get me wrong. I was one of those people who said I didn't want kids for a while. You know what I mean? But I didn't go on a hate train about people that had kids because it had nothing to do with me. I did not care. But deep down inside, I also knew that I did always wanted children when I got older. I knew that it was a phase. I knew that I did want kids. But I didn't understand, why people wanted kids at a young age, which was also none of my business. But me, personally, I didn't want kids at a young age, and I didn't understand that part of it. But also, I was young. You know what I'm saying? I was dumb. I was single. I was partying. I didn't even truly know God for real, and just overall didn't know any better. You know what I mean? Because you could be young and you can be married, or, you could be, you know what I'm saying? So age doesn't matter at the end of the day. But with that being said, I didn't need kids anyway at that time of my life. So it was good that I didn't want kids because I didn't need them at that time. God chose the perfect time because I matured. I'm older. I know the Lord. I look at things differently now. And when I came to the conclusion that I was ready to have kids, I was 24. And me and my fiance and I were together at that time. And see, that's another thing. It's easy to say that you don't want kids when you're single and you have no one to have kids with. It's easy to say that you don't want kids, you know what I mean? Like when it's not suitable for you. But for one, when you find God, a lot of times you start to see things differently. So for me, I see children how the Lord views them, which is a blessing, a gift, and a reward. I absolutely love being a mother. I just wasn't ready back then, and I saw life differently. And secondly, when you find a good man and get married or engaged, or you're headed in that direction, a lot of times you start to think differently about children as well. Because a lot of times people say they don't want children because the people that they deal with are not worthy of having children with. You know what I'm saying? But when you find someone that you truly and deeply love, sometimes you'll have children because that person wants children, or sometimes you just change your mind. Like, I want children now, like, because this is your person. You know what I'm saying? Because you love that person. And I've seen so many times that women say that not having children, when women say that they're not having children, but when they find the man of their dreams, you look up and they done had more children. You know what I mean? They done had like 5 kids. And it's like you went from not wanting kids to having 5 kids, but that's because they found the right man, or that's because they found the Lord and they started viewing children differently. So a lot of times we just be talking. But at the end of the day, it's what God says. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm honestly like, I want more kids. Like, I went from I don't want any kids to I want 1. Okay, I want maybe 2. Then I went to I want 4. And then I'm like, now I would still have 4. But I'm like, okay, 2 is the limit, I guess, because we live out of state. But at the end of the day, God has the last say, child. I don't know how many kids I'm going to have. I want more kids. And if the Lord's willing, if it's in his will, that's what's going to happen. If it's not, it's not going to happen. So I just be going with what the Lord says these days. We could make up whatever we want in our head. We could say whatever we want out of our mouth. But it's what the Lord says at the end of the day. And, a lot of reasons, a lot of people reason for not wanting children and not having children is like almost always like selfish stuff. And you can have whatever reason you want. But like a lot of things that people would say, it's like, oh, you know, you can't sleep when you want to. You can't do what you want to when you want to. You have no freedom and you'll be broke, and just a lot of different stuff that a lot of people will look at as selfish. You know what I'm saying? And see, this is stuff that you think and worry about when you don't know the Lord. Because you know the Lord is going to provide for you, so you're not even worried about being broke. And it's just like doing what you want when you know the Lord is going to make a way. You know what I'm saying? When the Lord have us do things or go through things, he's going to get us through them. You know what I'm saying? He's not having us go through things for no reason. So if he wants you to have children, he's not going to have you having children and not make a way for you and your child. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to provide. He's going to bring people that's going to help at the end of the day. Because if he brings you to it, he's going to bring you through it. Understand that. And if you trust in the Lord, you know that every need will be met. You know that you and your child will not go without. You and your child's going to be taken care of. You know that daycare is going to be paid for. You know what I'm saying? Like, it boils down to a lot of worry and a lot of selfish things. You know what I'm saying? We cannot worry about certain stuff when you know the Lord. Know that your children will be taken care of. Know that you will be taken care of. Know that your household will be taken care of. And, you know, everyone is not at a selfish point in their life and not worried about satisfying self. See, when you have children, when you get married, when you have children, when you have friendships, it's not all about self anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be selfless, and everybody is not ready to be selfless. Everybody is, a lot of times, are selfish. So it's a point that you have to come to in your life. You either don't come to it or you do. You know, everybody's not going to have children, and that's fine. But you do have to come to a point that you're willing to be selfless rather than selfish when it comes to children. And that's why I say, like, when you know the Lord, these things don't bother you. Like, oh, you can't do what you want when you want, like that. Because at this point, you're selfless. You don't even care. You know your child comes first, and you don't even care that your child comes first. You want your child to come first. You know what I'm saying? It's not all about you anymore. You can put self aside. And that is like one of the number one traits that you have to have in order, you know, when you're having children. Personally, for me, my daughter motivates me to do more, to be honest. Like, if I didn't have her, I would literally sleep my days away like I did before I had her. But when she gets up, I get up. And once I get up, I'm getting stuff done. Like, she keeps me going. She keeps me to not be lazy. You know what I'm saying? I have to set examples for my daughter as well, like what a woman should be doing. And I have taken on so many things since my baby has been born, because she's literally my motivation to keep me going. Like, it's so funny because before I had her, I did not work out at all. Now I do at-home workouts, and she literally be rooting me on when I do my at-home workouts. Like, she's my little motivation, baby. Like, my baby keeps me going. Like, can't nobody tell me nothing about my baby. So I personally don't get offended, like, when people say the little stuff about, like, having children and stuff, because I am blessed and, you know, I'm happy. And it actually makes me feel bad for people, because a lot of times people will try to make you feel bad about their life, you know, your life. And it just shows how miserable people are. Because, baby, you know what I'm saying? That's why y'all can't let people steal y'all joy, because people literally are going around to steal people's joy. You know, they see you happy and living your life, you with your family, you got kids, and they try to down you for, like, having kids. If you got 5 kids, you know, they try to talk about you and down you, like, oh, I can never do that. You can never do that, baby. The Lord built me for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they want you to be in a slump, like, you know, oh, maybe I shouldn't have had 5. Girl, this is your life that the Lord has put together for you. Y'all cannot worry about what people say, and you have to know who you are. You have to know what you want out of life. You have to be at peace. You have to be happy, because things, when you are in those places, the things that people say will not bother you anymore. And it's so interesting, because I remember when I first found out that I was pregnant, I was so excited to tell my best friend at the time, and I told her, and she didn't even congratulate me. Okay. The first thing that she said to me is that I shouldn't have did it, and that she didn't want me to go through the same thing that she went through. Didn't even congratulate me, y'all. Like, she was projecting her experience on me, and when I tell y'all, I was so livid. because I was happy. You know, I was happy in my life. I was happy about my baby. I was ready to have children. You know what I'm saying? I was 25 and I felt like I had waited until a good age, although, you know, I wasn't married just yet. But I'm like, I felt like I had my fun. I felt like I was ready. And it was a happy moment for me, you know. And that response was not appropriate to me from someone that's supposed to be your best friend or anyone at all. Like, congratulate people and keep it moving. It's not your life. And then also, two of my fiance's friends had negative feedback as well. Like, one was saying how it was going to be hard and how he won't be able to do nothing or go anywhere anymore. And another one was saying how it's going to make us break up and that we wouldn't last now that the baby's there. Child, it was just a bunch of negative feedback, y'all. No one seemed genuinely happy for us. But again, these were things that they all went through. People were speaking all types of nonsense and negativity and projecting. And guess what is the one thing that all of them had in common? None of them had a relationship with the Lord. At that time, at least. Now, this was around the time we were starting to first seek. Like, we hadn't even started going to church or Bible study just yet. But we were starting on our own time to seek the Lord. So we wasn't deep in. You know what I'm saying? So that stuff was bothering me. At this point in my life, nothing and no one could bother me, baby. But it was bothering me back then that no one was supportive and people had negative feedback. But that's what I'm saying, though. We cannot listen to the world because they don't know anything about the Lord. They don't know anything about his word and what his will is for your life. And see, those who don't have kids also, you know, they would brag about how they don't have kids or how they didn't want kids. I remember it was like a particular time I posted something about my pregnancy. I think it was like after I had my baby, and this girl on Instagram would always watch my story. She watched my story and then turned around and posted something about her not having kids, like bragging about her not having kids. And I'm just like, it was just a bunch of shady and miserable people and stuff going on. Like, for you to even go out of your way to post that was very strange. Meanwhile, I was happy, you know, I was proud and I was blessed because I haven't told the story, but I had thought I couldn't have kids. That's going to be another story. So I was so happy about the fact, like, that I was able to conceive because there was a point that I thought I couldn't have kids. So I was happy. I was proud. I was blessed. And people were just throwing shade everywhere, child. But we have to also realize that people sometimes talk down on the very things that they want in life. I've witnessed that firsthand. You know what I'm saying? So they will go out of their way, like I said, to try to make you feel bad so you don't be happy to enjoy your baby and enjoy your moment, because in reality, that's something that they want. And they don't want you to enjoy it. And that's why, like I said, nobody can make me feel bad about anything in my life, because people be miserable and people be projecting. And misery loves company, baby. No, thank you. I'm not that one. I'm not entertaining it no more. And the main people that be talking about people having kids out of wedlock be having sex out of marriage every day. Done had abortions, but that's another story. You know, and I'm not trying to be mean, but that is true facts, y'all. And that's why I'm saying, like, you cannot let people speak things unto you and let it bother you, because people are projecting and people are hiding their stuff under the rug and they want to point fingers at you because people don't know about the things that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So do not let people try to make you feel bad about your children that the Lord has blessed you with, baby. You know, we are here to have children. God said, be fruitful and multiply, baby. You know, after marriage, of course, that's what I expected. But, you know, life doesn't always happen that way. And God doesn't hold that against you. It's just like any other sin. You repent and keep it moving. That's just what it is. And, you know, children are beautiful. Children are special. And don't let anyone convince you otherwise of your child. Don't let nobody make you feel bad about having children and wanting children and having a lot of children. Like, this is your life that God has set up for you. And if you're pregnant and you have any fears and doubts, understand that the Lord is going to take care of you and your child. The Lord is going to provide. Don't let nobody talk you into doing something you don't want to do or getting rid of your child. You know what I'm saying? Children are a blessing. Children are a blessing. When I was young and didn't know any better, I thought negative things about children as well. Because it's a responsibility that you have to take on that everybody's not ready for. But just because you're not ready for it does not mean that a child is not a blessing, baby. Psalms chapter 127, verse 3 says, children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from him. Children are a reward from God. And you ought to be blessed. You ought to be blessed. Child, please don't let these people, no, take your joy about your children. Children are beautiful. And they do so many things for you that you don't even know. Like when you have children, like it, because me having my baby helped me grow up, and you know, I found the Lord and it helped me grow up. But you know what I'm saying, it changes your heart, it changes your perspective on life, it gives you more, like, something to live for. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm not saying that you don't have nothing to live for before, but it's a different, you just gotta know to know. Like, man, like, children just make you have to go harder. You know what I'm saying? These children are looking up to you. You are the example. You are their provider. You know, like, the Lord is providing, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to show up for your child. And it's a blessing to be a mother. It is a blessing. Like, these are my little babies that I have to take care of. Like, you calling me mommy, like, I'm a mother. I'm somebody important. You know what I'm saying? Not that you wasn't anybody important before, but your role is 10 times more important when you become a mother, y'all. But yeah, so children is a blessing. Don't let nobody try to make you feel bad about wanting children, having children. You are blessed. Your children are blessed. And turn to the Lord, baby. But if this word is not for you, it's for somebody else. Remember, I'm telling y'all this because I love y'all. God bless.